A tray in this third quarter. 3 for Jadarius Lowe off a tray, 2 apiece for Sanders and Hernandez, and 1 point for Mora. The Carlsbad Cayman leader is Sullivan. He has 13 through 3 quarters. 6 for Priest, 6 for Mills on 2 trays. Quarles has a couple of buckets for 4. Green with 3 points off a tray, and Huerta with 2. As we are here in the fourth quarter, 34-31 Carlsbad. Both teams were tied 20 up at the end of 3. Since that time, 11 for the Eagles and 14 for the Cavemen. After this timeout, the Cavemen back on the court first. Eagles breaking their huddle now. And we should be back live on the YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Sorry for the technical issue. Hopefully you can watch the last 6 minutes of this ball game with no interruptions. Inbound to David in the left corner. To Beatty on the same side of the circle. He pivots against the defense of Huerta. Spin move, hippity hop, left block, triple team, and he gets held from behind. They got the foul. Any one of the 3 guys could have been called on that one. Looks like they're going to get Malik Mills for his first. That'll be the first team foul here in this second for fourth quarter. Inbound backdoor to Beatty in the right block. Pivot, throws up a shot, double clutch, air ball. Ball comes off the rim, rebound at the free throw line for Carlsbad by Priest, his 4th. Gives off to Huerta in the backcourt, dribbling across the time stripe against Beatty. Eagles down by 3. Allows to Sullivan on the left wing. Crossover move down the lane, left block underneath the hoop. Malachi Day with his hands straight up. Pass up top to Mills. Mills will hold the ball for a second. Lowe comes out on him, underhands it dangerously to Huerta at the timeline, almost picked off by Beatty. Pass over to the left wing to Cornum near the scorer's table. Now dribbles behind his back, jumps in the air. Bad pass to the free throw line. Picked up by Hernandez. Turnover 15. His layup on the right side comes off the glass, no good. Rebound by Sullivan underneath. He gets banged into by Lowe, who was out of control that time. And that'll be a foul on Lowe. Boy, a missed free throw or layup by Hernandez. Cost him big on that one. Sullivan with the rebound. And that will be his 5th of the ball game. 34-31 Carlsbad with 5:04 remaining. 21 rebounds for Carlsbad. And make it 18 for the Eagles. Inbound to Huerta in the backcourt, guarded by Lowe with 5 minutes remaining and a 3-point Carlsbad lead. Been kind of a lull with scoring here in the last few minutes. Screen up top from Sullivan at the top of the arc. Pass it back to Sullivan, fakes a 3, jab step. David will stay right with him. Pass off to the right wing to Green. Back to the timeline off the dribble. Guarded by Josiah Clay. Sullivan gets a pass top of the circle, drives the lane, scoop shot left side and scores in the finger roll. Went hard to the rack that time to Sullivan. He's got 15. Carlsbad's biggest lead now is 5 here, now in the fourth quarter. 36-31 Cavemen. 4:30 remaining in the fourth, and a timeout for Coach Ross. Having some words from the baseline official right now. We'll take a break as well. 36-31, Carlsbad leads the Hobbs Eagles by 5. We're coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back to fourth quarter action here at Tasker Arena. Carlsbad leads the Eagles, their biggest lead of the game, 36-31. 15 for Sullivan for the Cavemen, the leader at this point. A couple of guys with 6, Priest and Malik Mills. Mills has hit 2 trays. Carlsbad as a team up to this point with 4 3-pointers in the contest. Hobbs Eagles have managed 3, which is 4. Malachi David with 2, Sorry with 1, and Lowe with 1. And the top scorer for the Eagles, David with 10, Clay with 8. Eagles in the game in terms of free throw shooting are 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Inbound to Lowe, one-hand bounce, pass to the right wing to Proby. He is guarded by Quarles. Up top to David, fires up a 3. It's good. Big hit for Malachi David. 13 points on 3 trays. A 2-point ball game. They really needed that one. 36-34, Carlsbad. 2-point game with 4:12 remaining. In the backcourt is Huerta. going against the defender, Josiah Clay for the Eagles. Sullivan trying to give him a screen. NBA three on the way. Off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound for the Eagles. Underneath on the right block is Sullivan for his second board. Outlet to the timeline to Lowe. He'll slow it down as he comes across the stripe. Big cushion given up by the defender, Quarles. Gives to Proby on the right wing against Sullivan. Dumps it back deep to David. David guarded by Quarles. Unloads to Clay on the right wing. Screen from David. Top of the circle. Shot from the left elbow off the front of the rim. Underneath the middle, actually middle of the paint is Sullivan pulling it down. That's his sixth board to lead the glass work and the point production for Carlsbad. 15 points and 6 boards. Pass up top to Huerta front court. To Sullivan. Fakes it three on the left wing. Dumps it down right corner to Green. Sends it back deep to the timeline to Huerta. Running clock. A 2-point Carlsbad lead. 3:20 remaining in the game. Driving hard to the right elbow. Continues down the lane. Reverse layup and scores at the right glass. Huerta with 4 points. A 4-point Eagle deficit at this point. 3:10 remaining in the front court. Slowing it down off the dribbles. Clay sends over to Lowe on the near side left. Return to Clay on the yo-yo. Again to Lowe. Underneath his bicep, gives it back to Clay to kind of get the defense to choke out. He's going to drive the lane, 1-2 and up with a finger roll over the front of the rim. Got through 2 defenders that time and puts it through. He's in double digits with 10 behind the 13 of David. 38-36 Carlsbad, a 2-point lead for the Blue with 2:45 remaining. Driving the lane right side is where to get stripped. Taken away by Sullivan. Carlsbad 16th turnover. Up to Clay at the timeline. Over to right side to David. Fakes it 3. Back to Clay on the right wing. Picking him up on D is Huerta. Cross court left to Lowe. Give it to the left wing to Sullivan. No looker back up top to Lowe. To Clay on the right wing. Drives through 2 defenders. Quick shot off the rim. No good. Tipped up by Proby on the left block and scores with his 2 hands off the glass. Proby's first bucket and second rebound. Back to a tie. 38-38. Catch your breath here at Tasker. Timeout Carlsbad. 2:16 remaining here in the fourth. 38-38. We're on the radio and finally back on the internet. The district championship of the regular season continues in 30 seconds. (38-38) your score with 2:16 left, fourth quarter district championship game at Tasker Arena regular season. Right now a tie ball game on the scoreboard. Carlsbad leads the rebounds 22-20 at this point. And right now it's Carlsbad basketball in the backcourt. Dribbling around Huerta, taking on Beatty in the front court. Now stop and go on the far left sideline. Trying to get a screen as Priest doesn't get it. Top of the circle. Pass to Sullivan left wing. He drives the lane. Lost the ball in the air. Came back down. And the referee at the backside on the left sideline calls a foul from behind on a push. Sullivan lost the ball in the air, so luckily they didn't call a shooting foul on that. They'll charge the foul, though, to Soria, his first. That's the second team foul on the Eagles here in the fourth. Still tied up at 38. 2 minutes exactly remaining here in the fourth. They bring back one of their guards, does Carlsbad, Malik Mills. He's got 2 trays. And it'll be Carlsbad basketball left of the rim. Inbounding will be Mills. Throws a high one and down, brought by Priest. He had to jump high in the air. Good D by Hernandez. They throw the ball off Hernandez's butt out of bounds on that far left sideline. Hernandez was just straight up on him that time and kind of fumbling the ball a little bit was Priest. So he said, heck, I don't want any more of this. And just threw it off his leg. Inbound to Sullivan on the far left sideline. Hands it right behind him to Huerta. Guarded by Beatty. Sullivan puts a screen on it. Huerta's going to spin left. Backs it out a little bit. Dribbles up top to the right elbow. Falls to the floor flat. They call the hold on Beatty. Looked like possibly that Huerta kind of fell forward, lost his footing. Beatty kind of grabbed on a little bit, maybe even trying to hold him up a second, but they call the foul on him. That's his second. Third team foul. 3-1 foul count here in the fourth. 38-38 with 1:44 remaining. Again, Carlsbad won in overtime, and Carlsbad by 6. Inbound to the right wing to Huerta. Spot up three, left open for a second off the back of the rim, no good. And Hernandez rips it down on the left block. There's a whistle from the other sideline, but not seeing what that's all about. I guess somebody must have stepped out. Not sure what the call was on that one, but Hernandez did pull the rebound down his fourth. Across the timeline comes Soria to try to take a lead with 38 all. The scoreboard, 1:30 remaining. Bounce pass to Beatty on the left wing against a 2-3 zone. Dribbles up top, wraparound pass to Soria right wing. Was going to try to post up David. Good thing he didn't throw it. Was congested traffic. Dribbles to the free throw line and an off-ball hold. Actually, they called on the guard, the defender of Soria. That was charged to Huerta. His second team foul. Eagle basketball on the 28-foot line on the far right side near the scores table. Beatty inbound, David, Hernandez, also Soria and Clay on the court. Inbound to Soria at the timeline and a timeout for Coach Ross. He wants a good high percentage shot here with a 38-all ball game, 1:17 remaining. Now, both teams were tied at 20 at half. Both teams have scored 18 points since then to get the score knotted up at 38. What's on the line in this game? Number one. At the district tournament next week, which means you don't have any prior games. You wait till Saturday to host the championship. More importantly, you've already punched your ticket to the playoffs. Win tonight, you get that bid. Doesn't tell you where your seating is going to be, but it will be better than whoever might win the district tournament. If you win both, you're in good shape. But somebody else wins the district tournament, you still get a higher seed, no matter what that number could be. So it's a big timeout here. We can make it a 60-second timeout for Coach Ross and the troops. Of course, the other game going on, Clovis tonight taking on Roswell. Those two teams are going to play in the first game, I believe, on Tuesday. We will not need a pre-playoff game this season because both the teams that are playing right here at Tasker are 4-1. So a second loss would knock them to second place and have to play a semifinal on Thursday. They will have a home game regardless, though. We mentioned the Max Preps poll earlier, too. Right now it's Cleveland at number 1, Rio Rancho 2. Volcano Vista at number 3. They're the state champs from last year. Los Lunas 4, La Cueva 5, Sandia number 6, your Hobbs Eagles 7, Albuquerque High 8, Carlsbad 9, and Centennial 10. Eagles have 3 big wins over top 10 teams. Hernandez gets the inbound to the free throw line, tries to pass, and he lost the ball right to Sullivan. That's the 10th Eagle turnover. Costly one there. Pass across the top line to Cornum on the far left. Throws a high one near the time stripe to Huerta, comes down with it. Beatty out on top to play some D. Gives it off on the left wing to Sullivan with the pivot. Throws it back door to Cornum. Dumps it right corner to Priest. Drives baseline up top to Quarles for 3 off the back of the rim. Gets his own rebound on the left elbow. His third board and a quick whistle. I think they had Soria on his arm a little bit that time. They'll call the foul on him. Stopping the shot, though, I believe. His second personal, 14 fouls. So that didn't hurt anything a lot, but it's still 1 foul away from the double bonus for Carlsbad. The Cable will have the ball on the left baseline underneath their hoop. They're going to run a box play. The 2 low posts and the 2 elbows covered up with blue uniforms. The inbound comes high to Sullivan. He had to jump in the air, almost fell out of bounds on the far left. Now up on the arc. Throws it back to the timeline to Huerta, guarded by Beatty with 40 seconds remaining. We're tied at 38. Takes a hard drive to the top of the circle. And we got a timeout. Coach Summer wants to talk to the troops to set up the possible last play of the game, at least offensively, for Carlsbad. 38.6 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Hobbs, 38. Carlsbad, 38. Come back with us in 30 seconds. We've got a barn burner here at Tasker Arena. We're tied at 38. It'll be Carlsbad basketball. 38 seconds remaining in their front court. Should be on the baseline. Free throws pretty good so far. Hobbs 5 of 6, so not a lot of opportunities, but 83%. And perfect on the line. The K-Men 4 for 4, 100%. Priest has got 2 for 2. Sullivan 2 for 2. For the Hobbs Eagles, free throws perfect for Clay, 2 for 2. Sanders perfect, 2 for 2. It's Mora 1 for 2, and that's it for the free throws. The last rebound count we had, 22-20 for Carlsbad here in the fourth. And we got a tie ball game. Get ready to go again live. 38 all. Carlsbad basketball on the 28-foot line, far left sideline, inbound to the backcourt to Huerta. He's going to take on Beatty with 35 across the timeline to Selvin on the left wing. Pivoting, lost the ball, he gets it back and flicks it back to Huerta behind him. Dribbles to the top of the arc with 25. Backs out to the timeline, Beatty on top of him. Sliding to the left sideline in front of the scorer's table. Crossover move to the free throw line. Stops and fires a pass to the right corner to Mills. Kick it back up top to Huerta, he backs it out with 15. They want the last shot. And then dribbles to the far left. They're going to continue to spin. 10 seconds. Drives the lane with the scoop shot. Misses. David rebound. Hand off to Clay with 5 seconds. To the right wing. Driving through traffic. Layup on the right side. They call a hold on the far right sideline before he took it to the hoop. Couldn't hear the whistle. Stops the clock. Hobbs will have about 2.9 seconds. That's what the scoreboard says. I think they got to add some time because they called it on the drive before he went to the lane outside the three-point line. You got to add, I think, about 1 second of that clock. 2.9 is what it says right now. There is a timeout, I believe. I'm not quite sure they're going to adjust the clock here. 2.9 is what they got on the scoreboard. 38-38 your score. Now they're going to move it to 5 seconds. Boy, perfect timing for the Eagles. They'll get the last shot, not have to worry about any rebound and heave-ho for Carlsbad. The question is, what's Coach Ross going to do in terms of the shot? Don't need a three-pointer. Definitely would like to get it inside. Unfortunately, there are only 2 fouls on the K-Man, so it's a kind of a reach situation, not a shooting foul. It's not going to matter. No free throw is going to be offered. So if you're going to take it to the rack, you better get a good shot out to see if you can get it in the hoop. 38-38 your score. Hobbs coming in, 4-1. 4-1 for Carlsbad in the district. Eagles 16-9 overall, 17-7 for the K-Men. Both teams with 1 loss in district. This is the regular season district championship right here at Tasker Arena. Winner will get to wait till Saturday for the championship game. The loser will have to play a semifinal first on Thursday. Winner will also get a first round playoff game. Not sure what the seeding will be, but we'll get the first round playoff game. Will be ranked higher than the other team that might win the district tournament. If that does happen, another team does that. So they move that clock back up to 5 seconds, which gives the Eagles a little bit more time, some breathing room to get a good shot. Again, they don't need a perimeter shot unless they just got a wide open one. 38-38. Eagles have averaged close to 6 3-pointers a ball game if they need it. Clay on the right 28-foot line near the scorer's table. Clay will inbound. Here we go. 5 seconds left to the timeline to Beatty. Back to Clay. He'll drive through 2 defenders. Throws up a double clutches foul, but they're going to say he was on the floor. He went to the right block, tried to weave his way through 3 defenders, lunged towards them. They get the foul when he went down low to the floor, then tried to propel back up. So that's what I said. It's not going to be a shooting situation yet. Cornham's second, 3rd team foul. That should be inside the 3-point line where the foul was, so they'll have it on the baseline with 1.6 remaining. We'll keep it right here, 38-38 your score. You saw Clay kind of putting his shoulder down and driving hard. 3 defenders are sitting on that right block. He went down to the floor to get some surge up, and that's when they got the foul call. He did extend up, but he hadn't started his shooting motion. That's why they got it on the floor. Very quick call from the official. He pointed to the floor quickly, so he was very definitive on that call. 38-38 your score. Back in that game in Carlsbad was a 52-46 overtime win for the K-Men. They outscored the Eagles 10-4 in the overtime. But the Eagles definitely came back in that game to tie it at 42 in the 4th quarter. As Hobbs had 11 points in the 4th to 4 for Carlsbad. So Eagles owned the 4th. Unfortunately, Carlsbad owned the overtime. But this is a new game and a very big one here at Tasker Arena. 38-38 after the timeout. Hobbs basketball on the right baseline. Could we have 2 OTs in this series this year? Inbounding will be Soria from the right base underneath the hoop. Goes back to Beatty. Reverse layup from the right side and scores! He puts it through the hoop, left to right underneath the hoop and scores! The clock says .3, but I'm not sure if that's going to be Hobbs' time. Do they call the foul? I believe they might have. Count the bucket. Beatty was going left to right. He went back door on the inbound. Soria with a perfect pass, slipped underneath the hoop, flipped it back up over the right glass and scored. They did get the foul and a chance to make it a 3-point lead. And that could only be a tip for Carlsbad because .3 and lower. He throws it hard off the rim. They can't get the shot away in time. That's the ball game. Beatty misses it on purpose, and the winner. We had Jamin Hernandez doing it against Roswell a few weeks ago. This time it's Braddock Beatty, the senior, as he goes from left to right underneath the rim for the score, 40-38. A barn burner here at Task Arena. Regular season district champs, the Hobbs Eagles, 40, Carlsbad 38. As you watch the handshake line down on the court, Eagles had the basketball on the baseline. They had a 28-foot inbound first from 5 seconds. Got a foul, got it on the baseline, got another chance for a shot. Boy, an exciting finish. You just were kind of hoping it wouldn't go to OT because that puts a lot more stress out here. But Hobbs got it when they needed it. The football player / basketball hoops player gets the job done for the Hobbs Eagles. He's going to NIMI next year, by the way. 40-38 Eagles. We're going to take a 3-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show. On the radio, Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're back live at Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles are the regular season district champs. A thrilling win over Carlsbad, 40-38. Your Eagles getting a total of 20 points in the second half, 18 for the Cavemen, and that last-second layup with about 1.5 remaining. A pass from the baseline right side to the left of the lane. Beatty got the pass, went underneath the hoop, returned underneath on the right, and threw up a two-hander, and got it to drop, and the foul. He missed it on purpose on the free throw. He knew with 0.3 seconds remaining after that free throw shot that would only be enough time for a tip, so they couldn't throw a three-quarter shot would count. So that was a great move on his part. I'm not sure if he came up with that himself. I couldn't see if the Coach Ross of this crew was telling him to miss it on purpose, but still a good decision regardless of him or the coaches did it. We'll give the kid the recognition on that one, I guess. Let's look at the numbers for the Carlsbad Cavemen. Still some good production for Shane Sullivan. In fact, pretty close to what he got last time at home. He had 17 in Carlsbad. Tonight he had 15. Was perfect on the line, 2 for 2, and got one of the 4 3-pointers for the Cavemen in this contest. Also was a leader in rebounds with 6. He was the only guy in double digits, though. Malik Mills had 2 trays for 6 points. It was 6 for Dryden Priest, 2 for 2 on the line. Other guys scoring, Kevin Quarles with 4 and 3 rebounds. Z Huerta, well below what he got the last time. He scored against the Eagles 15 in Carlsbad. Tonight, only 4 and 4 rebounds. It was Sanika Green with 3 points on a tray and 3 rebounds. They had a total of 6 scores in the ball game. Not a lot of free throws for either team. Carlsbad, though, was perfect, 4 for 4 for 100%. The last time they played the Eagles, they shot 80%, 12 out of 15. So not a team you want to put on the line, although they didn't get a lot of chances to add to their scoreboard tonight, as the refs pretty much let these teams play a little bit for this district championship. Rebound numbers, unofficially, it looks like Carlsbad gets a 2-rebound advantage, 23-21. I would think that most of those coming off the defensive boards, because Hobbs was getting one-and-dones for quite a bit of their offensive series in this game, and until they started getting physical, and that's what Carlsbad got the advantage in terms of rebounds. Turnovers definitely in the pocket of the Eagles in this one. Carlsbad had 16 giveaways, Hobbs only 10. Looking at the numbers for the Hobbs Eagles, they get 2 in double digits, not the big-time numbers, but enough to get the win. Malachi David, 13 points, 3 rebounds, and more importantly, 3 trays. He had 60% of the 3-point shots converted tonight, 3 out of 5 for the Hobbs Eagles squad. It was Josiah Clay with 10 points, perfect on the line, 2 for 2, and had 2 rebounds. So those two, David and Clay, combined for 23 of the Hobbs Eagles' 40 points in the ball game. Lyric Surrey hit a tray. He had 5 points and 2 boards. It was Jadarius Lowe coming off the bench for a tray and 3 points. Also 2 rebounds for the Eagles. Jalen Sanders had a couple of free throws. Perfect, 2 for 2 and 1 rebound. Darius Proby coming back after being out 3 games due to a knee injury. 2 points and 2 rebounds. Javen Hernandez finished with a bucket for 2 and 4 boards for the Eagles. Adrian Moore off the bench. 1 of 2 free throws, shooting for a point and 2 boards. I think that's about it in terms of scoring for the Eagles. They had 8 players in the scorebook in this one, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. So decent free throw shooting like we've been seeing the last couple of ball games for the Eagles' cause. 83% from the charity stripe. And if I got my numbers correct, I believe that was what we shot against Clovis last week. I believe was 5 of 6. Maybe that was a previous game, but I remember that 5 of 6 just kind of reminds me that happened recently. But 83% regardless. Great job shooting for Hobbs in this ball game. Other stats to look at, the rebounds are just too shy of Carlsbad in this one, 21 versus 23. Tops on the boards for Hobbs, Javen Hernandez with 4 of them, and 2 apiece for Soria, Clay, and Mora. Also Proby getting 2 as well. And turnovers again, just 10. That was a total of 6 less than Carlsbad in this ball game. So Hobbs gets the win, 40-38. Didn't have to go to overtime to do it. They come up with a 7, make that 17-9 now with the record overall, 5-1 in district. Carlsbad will drop to 17-8 and 4-2 in district. And really, if you look at the Max Preps poll, that gives Hobbs another feather in the cap because they won another game against a top 10 opponent. They've already picked off Sandia earlier this season, number 6 on the Max Preps poll. Albuquerque High at number 8, and now Carlsbad at number 9. Then you add a number 10 team, Centennial, they beat as well. So 4 teams in the top 10 they've gotten W's against. That definitely will help them with strength of schedule, which also can help them with the seeding when it comes to the state tournament. So impressive win tonight for the Eagles to pick that one up. They are now 6-3 against the top 16 this season. That's the number of teams that will make it to the state tournament. Now, looking ahead till next week in terms of what's going on with the district tournament, of course, the Eagles won't have to play any games until Saturday. And, of course, the Lady Eagles getting a win tonight on the road in Carlsbad, a blowout victory for Hobbs in that one. 58-11 was the final. So congrats to the Coach Carpenter and the Lady Eagles. They were 6-0 in district, and that means the 2 games next week will be for championships. 1 o'clock for the girls, followed by the boys at 3 o'clock. So lots of good action here at Tasker Arena, and we'll have both of those games on the radio and on the internet. Trying to track down really quickly here the Clovis-Roswell game to see what was going on with that one earlier tonight. Those 2 teams are anyway going to be playing again for the first round of the district tournament next week. We got some Lee County teams in action tonight, thanks to Evie back at the station getting us caught up on those. In girls action, Texaco defeated Jal 61-30. The Jal boys also lost to Texaco 59-11. It was Tatum girls defeating Eunice 50-14. Eunice boys returned the favor 54-44 over the Tatum boys, winning by 10 in a Lee County battle. And again, we mentioned the Hobbs girls game at 58-11. Hobbs winning that a mercy rule style by 47 points in that contest. Of course, again, the other boys game tonight, Clovis and Roswell, teams that were defeated by the Eagles. They went 4-0 against those squads this year. So it's been an impressive season. Eagles had a little bit of a dry spell after the APS Metro tournament. They lost a couple there and then lost to Permian, but started to get themselves on a roll as district moved along. That one loss to Carlsbad on the road for a 6-point overtime deficit wasn't the worst of it. It was the worst of it, I should say. They got wins over against everybody else, but still kind of a nail-biter time. It looks like Coach Ross got what he wanted, guys stepping up when need be, getting some rebounds and taking care of business as the season continued on. Quickly checking the schedule here to see if there's any updates on the Roswell-Clovis game. I don't think they have a score updated yet on that one. Nope, they do not. So regardless, be expecting that matchup on this coming Tuesday. It'll be Roswell and Clovis going at it for the first round. Winner will play Carlsbad on Thursday, and the winner of that game will come to Tasker Arena for the championship of the tournament. Now, the win tonight gives the Eagles a playoff spot. They will have the first round. Not necessarily at home. It depends on where they come in the rankings because 16 teams make it. So winning the district tournament would also be another nice feather in the cap, too, for Coach Ross and the team. That gives them more of a resume to try to get themselves in one of those playoff home spots. And, of course, they're only going to have one game to do that. That'll be the tournament championship. Well, both of those contests, as I said, next Saturday, the Hobbs girls at 1 o'clock, 12:45 pregame, and then the boys to follow after that. Of course, we'll have the boys game on the radio, Cool 95.7, and both of those games on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the various Facebook pages. Once again, the final score from Tasker Arena, your district champs, the Hobbs Eagles 40, Carlsbad 38. Want to thank Jessica Friend on the scoreboard tonight, Allison Friend on the camera, Evie Stuber back at the station saving our internet feed, although it went up here third quarter. She got it back on there. It's going to be 2 different broadcasts, by the way. You'll have to pick up the rest of the game on a second one on YouTube, but at least we got that back for you, and thanks a lot to Evie on that one. We will see you next Saturday, 12:45, girls game, the boys game after that. Have a great weekend out there, and go Eagles.